Namaste children. Hope you're all ready for the science class. Children, all these days we were doing the first three lessons and I've given you the classwork notes also that for the third lesson. Hope all of you have written it down in your classwork. Now we'll move on to the next lesson, children. A very important lesson as far as your higher classes, lessons in the higher classes are concerned. And the very reason is the basic of chemicals and chemical changes. All this you are going to learn in this lesson. Even though it is basics, it has to be strong, right? So you have to learn the concepts properly. And you see to it that you practice whatever is being taught through videos. See to it that you practice all that correctly, okay, so that you get the concepts stronger. Okay children, so shall we move on to the lesson? Now here are some articles displayed out in the slide. These are plastic articles and some use and throw materials are there. Here are some steel articles which are used in the kitchen, golden ornaments, and these are ceramic sets. Apart from all this, there are so many things around us that we see in our everyday life which are all indispensable. You cannot avoid all that, and all these items are made up of chemicals. These chemicals, they have become a part of our daily life. Okay. Now these things, when we have to learn about these things, we need to see what is matter. You might say matter, we have been studying for a long period, ma'am. We have been learning about this matter from our 5th standard. Okay, fine. But you will learn something in depth when you are in 7th standard. You are going to learn something in detail about all this. Matter, which can either be a solid, liquid or a gas, is of two types, mixtures and the pure substances. This is how your lesson starts. But before going into the mixtures and into the pure substances, I want you to have a small recap of the basic idea about this matter. Now, what is matter? Matter is anything that exists on the earth, and when we have to define matter, we say that any substance that occupies space and has volume. This is the definition you have been learning all these years. Okay, so anything that occupies space and has volume is called as matter. Now think about, what is this matter made up of? Matter is made up of atoms and molecules, right? Now what is an atom? Atom is the smallest constituent unit of a matter. It is the smallest unit. Like if you have a small eraser or a pencil, you keep cutting it. Keep cutting it till a position when you are not able to cut it anymore. And even you can it can be done, the cutting of that item can be done even under a microscope, and no more it can be cut, and that position we call that tiny little particle, which is the basic constituent of that pencil or that eraser, as an atom. Okay, and what are these atoms made up of? These atoms have a structure and they have parts also, namely protons, electrons and the neutrons. The protons are, as the letter P suggests, it is positively charged, and electrons are negatively charged, whereas neutrons, they do not have charge at all. Okay, now this is how an atom will look like. It might be small or it might be big in their number of atoms and number of electrons or number of protons. Just as for a sample I've given you here. This is the nucleus. And these are all the electrons which I told you are negatively charged particles. And see, there is a sort of a circle drawn over here which almost looks like the orbit, right, in our solar system. Like that, these are all called as the shells. These are the shells in which the electrons are placed. The negatively charged electrons are placed. This is another shell. And here's a small table which tells you about the shell type and the capacity of electron in every shell type. This is actually not for your class, but if you understand that every shell has a particular capacity, it will be helpful for you to go ahead with this lesson to do valency and all that. Okay, so that is the reason why I am mentioning this here. Like every shell has a capacity, like how I can give you an example like this. In your class bench, just go virtually you think about the classroom and the benches. 3 children can sit in a bench in your class. If you go to view a presentation or something in the KG classes, the small benches, only 2 of you can be accommodated. Whereas in the exam hall, you remember you used to write exams in the exam hall. There in one particular bench, 5, 6 of you can be accommodated. This is how in every shell has a different capacity. In one shell, the capacity might be only 2. In another shell, it might be 8, like that. And for us, for 7th standard, we need to think about, we will deal only about this last shell, which is called as the valency shell. Valence shell it is called as. I will talk about this when we do valency also, children. But just keep this in mind. The electrons are seated in the last shell and they are to be, you have to keep that in mind. Okay, electrons are placed like this and there is something in the middle, right? What can this be? This is called as a nucleus. Okay, now what is there inside the nucleus? The nucleus has protons and the neutrons. As I told you earlier, protons are positively charged and neutrons do not have any charge. And it is always good to remember that the number of protons are equal to the number of electrons. So the charges are always, they are pulling against each other. That is the reason why the electrons do not fall apart. Okay, children? So now you might think, all these years you were learning that molecule is the smallest part and now you are telling, ma'am, atom is the smallest part. Now I can explain this with this small example, children. This is a sentence. We are learning. This is a sentence. It's happening also. We are learning. In this sentence, circle this word are. Okay, this is a word. Whereas this word is made up of 3 alphabets. A is an alphabet, R is a single alphabet, E is a single alphabet. Like this, every molecule, this can be, this word can represent a molecule and the alphabet, the single alphabets represent the atoms. 2 or 3 atoms together form a molecule. Okay, are you clear now about the atoms and the molecules? Now, what is a molecule? A molecule is a group of 2 or more atoms held together by chemical bonds. Like how when you stand together, you hold hands and stand, to stand intact. Like that, the chemical bonds. Along with that, the molecules are made up of atoms. Molecules can exist independently, whereas atoms, almost all atoms, they cannot exist independently. Okay, here are some examples, children. H2O, which is water, it is a molecule. Nitrogen N2, it is a molecule. Calcium oxide, and this is glucose. I think in the first lesson you learnt about this. This is a molecule of glucose. Table salt, the ordinary salt that we use in the kitchen. This is a molecule of salt. NaCl it is. Okay children, so we will go to the next one, the previous, where we started there. Matter is made up of, matter can either be solid, liquid or gas, and this matter is of two types. It is either a mixture or a pure substance. What is a pure substance? What is a mixture? We will see in our next class. Okay children, thank you. Bye-bye.